Welcome back, guys. It's the Brothers Geek Out podcast. This is the last Samurai therapy session. So, guys, just to let you guys know, we are on SoundCloud. This will be uploaded on SoundCloud as well. You guys can stream us there and listen to us all the time. We do these odd episodes called the therapy session, so that it's not continued from the podcast. Still a podcast, but it's called the Therapy Sessions podcast, where we watch something that's close to us or listen to something close to us, and then we have to have our thoughts like expressed and how we feel about it. And this movie's been stuck with this family for, you know what, coming up to plus 14. When did this come out? Hold up, I'm gonna go through it. But intros, bro. Intros. G-Man in Singapore and got Ash at Mum's. What's happening, bro?
What's happening? I'm glad we're doing this, man. I mean, I'm all somewhere up for this movie. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't do a therapy session for this movie in a long time, but I watched it again the other day, and I was like, Kibbs, like, Ash, we got to do a therapy session, because no matter how many times I've seen this movie, it still gets me emotional. Like, I know what's going to happen, but the parts, the way it's filmed, the music, still gets me emotional. I'm like, man, let's do a therapy session for this, man. We have to express ourselves for this one.
So, so this is a movie. Sorry, bro.
No, I agree with G-Man, man. What you
Yeah,
said.
no. It's a movie that's dearly with us. It's I think one of the most underrated movies of all time. So you got a great soundtrack done by Hans Zimmer. You got director Edward Zwick, who directed this, and I think that's why I think direction plays a big key in this as well. The visuals are just stunning in this film. It came out in 2003, boys.
Oh wow.
Wow, almost 20 years. 17. What's the math? 17 years.
Yeah.
Man. I'll never forget. Like, this movie, right? Whenever you tell someone about it and you're like Tom Cruise, Last Samurai, they're just like, oh, basic. But I'm like, just watch the first 15 minutes. Just watch the first 15 minutes. Invest your time. Within the first 15 minutes, you will know what suffering and what shit this guy's going through. And then you'll be in. And once you watch the whole film, come on, bro. How many people have we watched it? Carl, Ibby, whatever. And they watched it and they were like, oh shit, this film is moist. Like, if he bought the Blu-ray, this guy don't buy any movies. He went and bought the Blu-ray because he was so moist of it. How amazing is this movie? Especially like you said, with the cinematography, the acting, the story play, the music. Oh my god, such a great movie.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, I'm heavily into the Japanese culture and samurais in general. Like, I can't explain it, man. Like, Tom Cruise, he's a brilliant actor, but this specific role, he played so well, man. Like, it's my favorite film. It's my favorite
Everyone
film.
in this movie, I even like when Katsumoto just talks to him and just like, he's so humble because they're enemies, right? If you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie. I don't know if we're gonna go through it like that, but they're enemies, right? But Katsumoto and the way of the samurai and the way of Bushido, he's like, you know, I just want to have a conversation with you in English. It's like, why?
Yes.
We're both students of war. Like, you know what I mean? I want to get to know my enemy. We're both students of war. And then they build up this relationship. And just like little things where he's like, I've enjoyed this conversation in English. I'm just like, this is so much. I just love it, man. They're warriors, but there's this compassion of learning, of being a student, of what their profession is, which is in that time or in the movie, war. They're warriors, and he's just learning about it. There's no ego. Like, there is, I'm sure there's ego and all that sort of stuff in being a warrior, but he was so egoless, and it was like a proper martial artist, man. He just approached his enemy with no egos and what, like, I want to get to know you a bit more. I want to, you know, I want to understand my enemy. I want to understand your process of war and what you've been through, and I want you to teach me this. It's fucking amazing. I love it.
Yeah, man. Like, I totally agree with what you just said, man. Like, they become boys at the end, man. That's how deep it is. Like, Tom Cruise's actor Nathan Algren. Is it Algren?
Yeah.
Algren. Yeah, Algren.
Yeah.
You know, he falls in love with the culture and how they live, man. He finds his peace, which is so beautiful, because what he returns to is what he started with, man. And it is a great film. Even for me, I even bought the collectible because I had to have it, man. Like, I was so moist of it.
Yeah, so he's a military advisor that embraces the samurai culture as he's hired to destroy after he's captured in battle. That's the like synopsis of the movie, guys.
Yeah.
It's like based after the Civil War
Yeah.
in America
Yeah.
against the Red Indians. Sorry, Native Americans. I said that wrong. That was so bad. Sorry, Native Americans.
I don't know if that's the Civil War, bro. I think they were just.
Oh, sorry, not Civil War. Just
taking over.
taking over as they do, which is fucked up. Is
But
she?
it was.
Hold up. Let me see. I think she's hurt herself. I'll be back. You guys
Yeah.
talk.
But yeah, as Kibler gave that brief synopsis, yeah, it was after, you know, he's been through, you know, fighting the Native Americans, and it's just after that, and it's just this guy, after all the shit that they've done during that war, that obviously he regrets. There's a lot of regret in him. So it kind of starts off from there. He's already a distraught human being. He already has a lot of regret. But the only thing he knows, and the only thing he feels that, you know, that he's born for is war, is battle. So the one thing that he's born for is the one thing that's not allowing him to live a peaceful life, and that's giving him regret, is what eventually, you know, leads him to his peace. But yeah, general. So what I found out recently after watching this again, you know, his General Costa or something like that.
Costa, yeah.
Right? Yeah. He is actual real general, bro. And he was in charge. He was a real general, and he fought against the Comanches or something, the specific Native American tribe, Comanche, something like that. Rogan's been talking about it. He's been all on it. So when I heard that name, General Cluster, I was like, oh shit, that's a real name. That's a real guy. And he fought against, and those wars that they fought with each other, they fought against the Native Americans, which was that specific tribe, the Comanche tribe. I'm sorry, I forgot. But that what I found quite interesting, that they used real, you know, that real general and whatnot. He was no saint and whatnot. I don't think that this whole movie obviously is like a fiction. I mean, I researched it once, and there was some, you know, I was like, is there a last samurai? And this guy is last. You know, I think they said something about there was this German dude or whatnot, but I don't think it was the same. And George has even researched a little bit as well. And Katsumoto, I think, was a real samurai warlord and whatnot. But I don't know exactly. George was saying sometimes actually he did eventually start using guns and evolved to the
Western ways,
the new ways and whatnot, because that was what the war was about in Japan, like the new ways versus the old ways. And he believed in the new ways, but he just felt that you're going too fast and you're losing your tradition. Don't. Yes, we need to evolve, but don't lose your tradition like that. But, like, keep it embraced and whatnot. So that was what the war was going on in Japan, and obviously Nathan Ogren's character, Tom Cruise's character Nathan Ogren, was assigned to go to Japan and train the army there to fight against Katsumoto. And as you said, he got captured in there. But yeah, I mean, yeah, man. And then from there, obviously, they take him as a prisoner, and then he gets to know their culture. He just wakes up every morning. He just sees their discipline in what their, you know, whatever their art form is, whatever it is they do for that day, whatever their specific profession is. He just loved the discipline behind each person puts behind their specific.
That's the thing, yeah. He weren't even treated like a prisoner. You know, he still had the opportunity to roam around, walk around, and then I think that's when he started seeing things that made him love the culture even more, and the country, the samurai way, the Bushido way, man. So, which is cool as well.
Yeah, how crazy was this, right? Because I'm just thinking as well, like he killed the lady that was looking after him, and the house that he was in, he killed the husband of that household, right? And then the husband's wife, which was Katsumoto. Yeah. So Katsumoto's sister-in-law. Yeah, it was Katsumoto's brother, right? It was his sister that looked after him. His kids were there, and Nathan Ogren's character killed the father of that household, and they looked after him in that way. How amazing! I mean, like, I don't know. It sounds crazy, and the woman was like, "Listen, like, he was doing his duty and you done your duty. Like, obviously she was upset and whatnot, but eventually when she got to know him a bit more, you know, that was her forgiveness to him. Like, you're both doing your duties, and that's just the way it is. I'm like, wow, this is deep. This is too deep. I fucking love it, bro.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. And then obviously he grew a relationship with the son as well, Katsumoto's son. You know what I mean? And they just he started learning Japanese from them, and he just started taking things on board, man, which is a nice thing to see, and pick up Japanese very fluently, because I can't speak Japanese shit.
Yeah, well, I think he was a fellow, because what you learn, he was a fellow linguist, right?
Yeah,
so he
that's right.
speak it up faster than the usual and whatnot. But I guess like he was off the alcohol. No, was he on the alcohol? I think with the culture and whatnot, with the discipline, he ended eventually getting off the alcohol, and that was obviously messing him up as well. But just I think just living in that life, just seeing the way they live, just gave him peace, man. Just gave him so much peace. He saw, you know, peace within this tribe and whatnot. He learned their ways, and he saw how open they were to teach him their ways when they're supposed to be enemies and whatnot. And it just amazing sort of story of you know, your enemy is not really your enemy, right? It's like, remember when he gave his books back and he told him, like, when Katsumoto he's like, when I took these from you, you were my enemy. Like, how crazy is that, man? And then, you know, just that relationship was amazing. So it kind of shows, like, get to know your enemy, because you might learn to understand they're not really your enemy. Like, you know what I mean? You're just paid. You were just paid to be my enemy, but when you get to know me, you're not my enemy. You found peace with us, and you know, we're cool with you. Like, but you know, due to money and politics, and you live in this country, and you've been paid to be my enemy. But no, get to know your enemy. You realize they're not your enemy, and you could be one. You could be friends with your enemy, or your so-called enemy.
Yeah, man. It's so deep, man. It's so deep. And then obviously, what else happened next? So he fell in love with the culture. Then they let him go. So obviously, as you said, that, you know, handed the book back, saying, you know, that you were my enemy once. When I take this, and he goes back to General Custer. They have a safe package. Remember, because he was stuck there anyway, because he said the mountains were covered in snow. So he goes in the spring when the mountains, when the sun comes out, the snow will melt, and then we'll have they had a safe passage back to Tokyo. And then they go back. But within that anyway, he's already built such a relationship up. There was a point where the ninjas attacked, remember, and he fought with the samurai. He fought to protect them. He came to, what did he say? Like, remember, he said a line to the kid. I think it was the kid or even the woman, that, you know, because the kid was upset that he was going to fight with them, and he was like, well, they now come to destroy what I've come to love. Like, he ended up loving the family. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so deep that he killed the father. They ended up looking after him. He ends up falling in love with the family and wants to look after them. It's deep. I just found it. Man, for me, it's Tom Cruise's one of my favorite films of all time, and Tom Cruise's my favorite Tom Cruise movie of all time.
Yeah, man.
It's one of his movies that is totally not suited for his character.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, when they hear that as well, like, I remember I always used to get cussed, and I'm like, you need to give the movie a chance. And I think people, you put Last Samurai, you put a white dude as that character, but move that away and see what he's going through. It changes the whole movie. And I didn't see it as you know, remember when Dave Chappelle had that guy? That's it.
Paul Mooney.
When he was like, last N-word of the world, starring Tom Hanks. And you know, like,
they were doing his movie reviews, right?
Yeah.
It was that, and he goes, Last Summer at Tom Cruise, the Mexican with Brad Pitt, why not the last N-word of the world, starring Tom Hanks?
Which I love that sketch, but it's, you know, it's truth. People will, it'll slightly push you away from it. But it is a movie that is just, I don't know, man, everything suited it perfectly. Like, you know, Tom Cruise is awesome in this film.
Hans Zimmer smashed that.
Yeah.
Listen, even that's the best film. It's hard to name your best number one film, but if someone had a gun to my head I'll say, okay, it is The Last Samurai. That's my favorite film of all time, right? Even
Yeah.
the music, that's my favorite piece of music I've heard in my life. I love the music so much, man. I have it on repeat when I'm training. Listen, I can use that music when I'm doing my yoga, when I'm doing my meditation, when I'm jogging. Like, honestly, I can just play that music all day long, man. So amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the music's so beautiful as well, the way Hans Zimmer did it, because it would, I don't know, man, it would touch nerves when you're watching the movie. It'll make you cry. And it's not just the scene itself, it's the music in the background. And you go, oh my God, I'm going to bust a tear. And you just end up crying, man.
Yeah,
that's like beautiful.
When they do decide to battle and whatnot, like that last battle scene, like, always gets me. Because it's the way they shoot it, man. Like, for me, it just, like, you remember, right? The battle, they had they set up the war, and again, Katsumoto, they tell him about 300, right? The 300 brave Greeks fight against the million Persian army, and then it gives him that motivation and whatnot. Anyway, like, you see the battle, and then who's the guy with the beard? You know, the guy who looks like a real samurai, man. He was in Logan.
Oh, Tsuragi. They just called him Tsuragi, man.
No, man, you gave him his name. Hold up.
He was all stabbed up and shot. He's back on his horse, and you're like, oh my God, this is my G, bro. And anyway, they're storming through, right at the end.
Oju.
Oh yeah, Oju, yeah. They storming through, bro, and then they have the miniguns, the machine guns. Listen, that scene, the way it's shot kills me, bro, because the music, the sound effect goes off. All you can hear is the gunshots, and then the music kicks in, and you just see everyone just kind of, you know, getting shot and losing. Katsumoto full of his horse, Nathan Oakenfoot, and that just gets me, man. And then just like you see the general, one of the captains on the other side, busting a tear because he knew, like, what they're killing off tradition. Like, Katsumoto was the last. Katsumoto was the last samurai, really, but they're killing off that old school tradition, and everyone just gets down and bows because they knew what they were losing, man. They knew what has just happened. They have lost a chapter. They have lost a part of their. But killing of Katsumoto, they've lost that portion of history in their culture. But that scene gets me, man. That scene gets me all the time, even though I know it's coming. It gets me all the time. And again, it's the way it's shot, it's the music, everything.
Yeah. Even the scene when Katsumoto's son dies. So obviously Katsumoto gets captured, and then obviously Nathan Orgren and his son, Katsumoto's son, break him out. That scene when Katsumoto's son dies, man, that gets me, man, because, you know what I mean, he was left there and sacrificed himself so they could escape. That still got me, bro.
Yeah, that was deep too. That was deep as well, man.
Katsumoto's son, Katsumoto himself, to let go of his son. You know what I mean? No parent should see their kid pass away. But his son was like, no, Dad, I want that perfect death. You know what I mean? I'm doing this for you.
That's the way. Yeah, that's like the way of, like, Bushido and whatnot. Knowing your path, knowing your destiny, training towards that, and accepting your destiny when it comes. Even though what was Nathan Oven's quote? I believe a man could pave his own destiny or something.
Destiny, yes.
Like, that's the way they go on, man. They believe in that destiny and whatnot, and when it comes to that time, they want that perfect death, right? And right at the end as well, right? He wanted to be killed by either his enemy's sword or his own, right? And then in the Japanese old samurai tradition, right? If you failed, then you take your own life, right? And then someone assists, you stab yourself and someone chops off your head. But that's an honor that you know, in the sense that you know that that's their tradition and whatnot. So when Katsumoto does that at the end, again, it's emotional, and it's a great way as well, because even though he was getting shot up and whatnot, he didn't get killed by his enemy's weapon. It was his own.
It was his own, man, and not even that, man. Talking about the Bushido way and the samurai, it's such a beautiful thing to look at, man. The art itself. You know, Bushido is so beautiful, the way they can use a sword like that, man. And like, I can't explain it, man. The way the craft.
But this is where jiu-jitsu and all that stuff comes from, bro. All from the samurai time. So the original Japanese jiu-jitsu was designed by the samurai or created by the samurai to disarm opponents with weapons. You know what I'm trying to say? They use it to disarm weapons. But weapon, an opponent with a weapon, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually, into judo. I think it was into judo. I might be making that part up, but they came from that, and then to the Gracie family, into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, to the ground game. But it's all from the samurai, man. It was all from the samurai.
And it shows it in the movie, man, when he's training and stuff. You can see they're using jiu-jitsu to disarm the other enemy, getting closer. That was one of the things, a disadvantage for the samurais, because there was so much they could get in. They had the bows and arrows, but yet when they got in close to that sword, man, they would finish you regardless. One kill, one slice, was beautiful, man. And even the sword that he was given at the end, the engraving. What did it say again?
The old way welcomes the new, or something like that.
Something like, it's so beautiful, man. And I think we've got that sword, isn't it? You got it from Comic Con.
Yeah.
I've got it.
But that doesn't have the inscription on it.
Doesn't it? Damn it.
But yeah, man, the whole movie. Even little things like when they're walking in the snow, and Katsumoto tells him about the cherry blossom. And he tells him, you can spend your whole life looking for the perfect blossom, and it's not a wasted life. If you find it, it's not a wasted life. I mean, how amazing is that, man? And you know what? I was supposed to be in Japan a couple of weeks ago before this madness started, and it was a cherry blossom season, man. I would have seen it, but it was snowing and it was cherry blossom. I saw some pictures that my friends put. How beautiful would that have been? I missed it, man. I'm so gutted about that. But
exciting, man. That would have been nice.
Little philosophies that they had in the movie, right? Like wisdom, philosophy, martial arts, philosophies in there, like those sort of things. Like, just, if someone's destiny are trying to strive their whole life to see a cherry blossom, or it might not be a cherry blossom, it might be something else they're trying to achieve to see. If you achieve it, if you see it, then it's not a wasted life. I'm trying to say that it's these little things that you take from the movie. It's just like, this is just deep.
Yeah,
No,
I agree. Don't say, man.
Life. It's got life stories in that. When he's talking about the tree blossoming, the trees, it's going to take ages for the tree to grow as we grow. And then we're going to have that perfect moment. And once we have that, you fulfilled your destiny and you're happy at that moment. He was happy at that moment.
Man.
He passed on his knowledge to somebody else. So that can grow even more further. People will know that, his legacy will continue. I don't know, the movie has, the more times we watch it, the more times we notice more things, the more connection we have to it as well. As I say, it's probably one of the most underrated movies, and not many people get the message. Now, you have to be a certain way to understand certain movies. Like, some people just don't understand Inception. Some people don't understand Memento. These are Christopher Nolan movies, but he always uses Hans Zimmer soundtracks on there. But he has a way of storytelling, and this movie has a really great storytelling. I think what the director did was absolutely amazing, and gave us a story about a guy's struggle, his mental struggle, his mental health as well at the time as well. He's gone and done something that he's not proud of himself to do. He didn't know how to let go of that pain.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to, that moment. I think during his time he was there as a prisoner, captive, becoming sober, realization, understanding that everybody else is just getting on with life and got a routine, and that I can't be this drunk fool thinking that I have to accept what I've done and keep moving forward and hopefully do something better, which he did in the end, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's what I take away from that film, man. It's probably okay, it is one of my favorite movies. I can't say it's my top one, but it's got probably my best sound. The soundtrack, man, Hans Zimmer, man, killed that. And again, it's an underrated soundtrack that he never plays as much.
Yeah, I don't know why. When he played in Singapore, and I remember messaging him and sliding into his DMs or whatnot, so he don't play it last summer, and he never played it. I don't know why. Like, it's such an amazing soundtrack. Yeah, Hans, man, play that shit, man. No, but I agree.
Funny if you guys mentioned that, yeah, I'm on a 1/6 scale Facebook forum, yeah, group, and I was mentioning about how, you know, the Last Samurai figure is amazing, and then the film's amazing, and then one guy comments, yeah, but the soundtrack shit, and I thought, yeah, and I'm just like, dude, the soundtrack is a very big part of the movie as well, man. It's what brings you joy, happiness, and it shows such strong vibes to the movie as well, man, to show how strong the Japanese Bushido way is, man. It's even the scene when they're leaving the village to go back to Tokyo. That one scene, that certain bit of the soundtrack, bro.
Oh yeah, that's the one I chose on my wedding day. I love that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I said one day I'm gonna play that one, and I played it. It's such a good song, man. I love that entrance, bro. It's so epic.
Yeah, man.
Such
amazing,
an epic entrance.
So and like, yeah, I mean the music. I mean, look, see, people have their own opinions. Like I said, a lot of people won't watch this movie because of just the way it is. The Tom Cruise Last Samurai, it's just not appealing. Again, I always tell people just give it 15 minutes and you'll be in. But yeah, same with the soundtrack. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. It's definitely my cup of tea. And every bit of that soundtrack relates to a different part of the movie, and it just fits well. Even that woman, like I said, the woman that looks after him, you know, like looks after him, like proper looks after him, even considering he's supposed to be a prisoner. Man, how many times have I heard it when Ibi or someone's telling me, man, I need to find that Last Samurai chick. It's all about that Last Samurai chick. That's what we need in life, bro. Need to find that Last Samurai chick. Bro, she's like the perfect woman. She looks like the perfect woman.
So ride or die chick there, bro. Ride or die chick.
And even the kids grew such a relationship towards him. And even the elder son started crying, as you mentioned, Jordan, because he was scared to lose something that he's learned to love as well, man. Like, he's learned to love him.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you have to be taken out of, like his context there was, you have to be taken out of a situation and put into something completely out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And realize, okay, these guys ain't killed me. Why haven't they killed me?
Yeah. We're looking up, right?
Everybody was looking at the same way, so I thought I'd look as well.
Oh, you know why? Because I can hear a baby crying, so I think it's that Idris, but it's not Idris.
And I've got a freaking mosquito here. I just got bit.
I just looked that way because everybody was looking that way, so I thought, let me look as well. Yeah, definitely. As I said, it's something where he's been taken out of his comfort zone. He was used to being that drunk games guy, to put in a situation where he realized, holy shit, I'm here with the enemies, and they're not killing me or beating me or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're trying to understand.
He realized that he's getting to know his enemy, to realize that they're not my enemy and their ways is not radical. What they're fighting against is not a radical way. They're just trying to preserve their culture. That's literally what it is, and that's what he saw. It wasn't like they were murderous, whatever, trying to take over every, whatever. It's not like they were Genghis Khan who just wanted to rule the world. No. I'm just trying to preserve my culture. And Katsumoto, again, his theory was you guys are evolving too fast. Yes, evolve, but you're evolving too fast. You're forgetting your culture. You're already dressed in Western. You have Western military weapons. You have everything Western, but you're completely forgetting about where your original culture comes from. Like, evolve, but don't forget.
Yeah, talking about weapons and in the armory. I don't know what you think about the Japanese armor, bro. I love it, man. To bits and how it looks, man. Like it's crazy, man. It makes him look so strong and so crazy.
It must have been. Do you know how heavy that stuff is, bro? Because my man had a double robe underneath. He must have been losing, man. If he had underfent on and a gonji, he must have been losing, bro. That's a lot. It is a lot. You know what? It's technical because the way they made that is, a sword could get stuck. He's got places where he can get hit, but it's that's state of the art armor, man.
Yeah, you have to remember the Japanese, right? They have a history of warriors and they've studied it, right? They knew it for hundreds of thousands of years or whatever, right? So whatever their armor at the time it was designed to be the most efficient and effective in battle, right?
Yeah.
Just think about Batman. Just think about the Dark Knight. the first original Batman, right? He couldn't move his head, so he's like, oh, I need to move my head. And, you know what I mean? He had to have armor, right?
Yeah,
But he was trying to find the most efficient way to be able to utilize it. And that's the same with the samurai. If you want to take it back, like, you know, they found the most, for them at that time, was the most efficient way. Think about the old knights of the round and whatnot, right? The English knight. Remember, they were just fully head to toe in this metal thing. Right? Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if it was shit, but again, it worked for them at that time. They thought it was the best defense armor at the time, or the best armor, you know, for hand-to-hand sword combat. So there's advantage and disadvantage, right? Maybe, you know what I mean? But it is beautiful, man. When you go to Japan, I mean, I wish you guys can go to Japan and experience what I've seen. Like, when you see the armor, you're just like, wow, you know.
Yeah.
And I've got this piece here.
Ash, make sure you do a review on Ulgrin, okay? Please, man.
I've got this piece here from
Oh, yes.
15th century samurai sword.
Moist.
Someone got me from Japan. I mean, like, this piece of history right here, man. Like, samurai history right here. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming. But it's from the 1500s, which I've been told. Again, it could be all bullshit, but so I've been told.
The hilt.
Come to this side, that side. Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, basic.
There you go. Ah, so that's what it's called. That's like the
buckle thing. Yeah.
Buckle. Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. Like I said, my friend from Japan, from Japan got it for me, and he asked his father to get one, but he asked his father just get a little something. His pops went and spent $500 on it.
Oh,
when he was like, spent like £50 max. His pops went and spent £500.
Oh man, that's lovely, man. That's a nice gift, though. Man.
It is a nice gift. I was surprised that he didn't just try to return it, but he's like, you know, I know you love this stuff, so take it, have this, and I'm honored, man. I mean, listen, I love the culture. I love, you know, a lot. Like, it's crazy. Like, martial arts, a lot of the Japanese have a lot to do with martial arts, even though the Chinese do and all the other. Japanese have a lot to do with the way the martial arts is now. Even with MMA these days, you know, the Japanese had Pride organization, and a lot of these top fighters, Anderson Silva and all these guys, they all came from that organization before they came to the UFC. The Japanese are big on fighting and combat and honor and respect and all that stuff. And this movie expresses a lot of that, man. It expresses. I know it's a way of the samurai, it's a war movie, but again, it's a martial arts movie as well, because it expresses all those martial arts way of life. You know, I'm trying to say the Bushido way of life is a martial arts way of life. It's absolutely amazing. It's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah, no, of course, man. It's a beautiful culture, and I've never been to Japan. You know, hopefully one day I will go to Japan. Now I've got the big role, I could get myself settled, and then maybe think about going there myself, man. It's on the bucket list. And
I want to get one of those robes.
Yeah, man. I'll take one of the samurai armors if I have to. Man. I'll buy one. Come back on the plane.
Yeah, no.
But brilliant film, man. Guys, if you guys haven't watched it, get on it. I'll tell you that now.
Guys,
it's a masterpiece film.
Last Samurai is a movie that needs to be watched.
Give just 15 minutes. Just spend 15 minutes. If you don't like it after 15 minutes, turn it off. Right? Yeah. But just watch the first 15 minutes. You straight away know what this guy's going through some shit. Straight away you'll know.
Yeah.
And if you want to understand how he deals with that shit, that's what it is. I mean, again, it's a movie like you discussed that he's got mental health issues, PTSD, mental health issues, and how someone deals with it, how someone might have dealt with it in that time period or whatnot. Because remember, this mental health and PTSD is kind of a new thing, right? Back in the day, it was like, all right, man up. Like, oh, you got mental health, yeah?
Yeah, it's something that not many people really talked about. You know, it's only people that were in wars that suffered it. People, Second World War generation. Afghanistan, Iran, you know, coming back with PTSD. I don't realise how much it affects it.
We got a neighbour, he was in the war, man, and he's very reserved, and I've never met the guy. And one time he just randomly just started talking to me, and I'm like, hey, what did you do? He was in the war. And then you can put the things together, like, he just needs to like, he genuinely opened up to me, man, and explained how.
Which guy? Who?
He lives in Andy's block. He's a new guy, man.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He actually opened up about how the war has made him how he is now, man. Very
Which
reserved.
war? Wait, the Iraq war. Which war are we talking about?
I think the Iraq war. He didn't really specify, to be honest, man. But he's very reserved.
It's going to be probably Afghanistan or Iraq.
Yeah, he was gone. Like he lives by himself, has no family. Bro, if you see his house, okay, because he has no curtains, he doesn't believe in that. He's just literally got a bed and a TV, and there's nothing else. It's empty. Like he just how he was living, man. And you can tell it's still affecting him to this day. It's very quiet, man. He said hello, he'll salute me. That's it. But he does. Nice guy, though. Very nice. He's a bus guy.
A lot of these guys, man, I mean, like, there's a few that come away and they're okay, and there's a lot that come away and unfortunately they're not. And it's a shame that the government or the government doesn't kind of help them or give them some kind of subsidies to kind of get through, get back to life and whatnot. They just kind of dealt with it again. It's crazy how, like Rogan was talking about this in the US, is like, when you're 18, you're allowed to join the army and go around killing people. They put a freaking gun in your hand and allow you to kill people, but you can't drink until you're 21. So it's like, hey, you can't have this drug till you're 21, but here's a gun and join us to kill some people in another country. It's crazy how certain things are. But yeah, I mean, listen, back then again, in the old days, that's how they none of this war stuff was discussed. None of this mental health issues was discussed. But right now, yeah, I mean, again, this movie discusses a way of how someone dealt with it, and this person found peace within his realm of war, understanding, a different concept of war, and coming to loving it, and found his peace.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, it's good. It's I think this movie's really connected with us because of him learning a new culture. You know what I mean? And again, he was the outsider there.
Yeah.
He was the he was the outsider.
And you know what? Let me tell you something. And I won't. Let me tell you something, man. Living in Asia, I've learned a lot. Right? I've learned a lot, especially being around. I'm Bengali, obviously, but just say Indian guy because everyone will see me as being Indian, right? Just say a brown Indian guy living in Asia, right? Living in Hong Kong, I lived in Singapore, I've traveled around. I promise you, Japan, and I've said this to you before, Japan is, the people there are the nicest people ever. Now, when you see that movie, they come across as the nicest people ever, the ones that looked after him, right? That's how they come across, man, in real life. I'm not joking. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot different. There are pricks in Japan. Obviously, everywhere you go, there's pricks, right? Everywhere you go. However, the way they treat you. Listen, man, before we went to Japan, remember Nathaniel Daniel Hans, right? They're 3 black guys. They've traveled around Asia. I remember they coming back telling me about how much racism they got certain places in Southeast Asia. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. This was before I ever came to Asia. And then we all decided to go to Japan together. And they expected it. They're like, yeah, I'm assuming these people are going to be the same, just like everyone else. Man, we get through with no issues. We had no issues. Everyone spoke to us with the maddest respect. Every restaurant we went to, they spoke to us with respect. I never forget when I got to customs, in Japan, I had a mohawk and whatnot. The guy was like, oh, you have a very nice hairstyle. Welcome to Japan. And I was like, what? Like, you saw my name as Muhammad, yeah? Like, there was none of that. My boys, Nathaniel, them not got through with no issue. Like, we were just like, wow. Like, so that's how they are. They're just nice. I've heard behind closed doors, they're whatever, they want to say this. Who gives a fuck? In your face, nicest people ever. And that's why I want to take Dad there to kind of see that, man. Face front interaction of how nice they are in your face. Yeah. It's such a disciplined race. It's so thing. Whatever you do behind doors, I don't give a shit. But in the face, man, such a nice culture. So that's why when you see that in the movie, I'm just like, wow, they're still kind of like that. They're very, very disciplined. And you've seen it as well, like, in the last World Cup when they lost, they cleaned up everything. The Japanese, the audience, the Japanese audience or whatnot, they cleaned up the stadium of their part and they left. Yeah. The Japanese team also cleaned up the locker room. That's their culture, man. They're very disciplined human beings, man. It's amazing.
It's even talking about movie that Rolling, man. Again, that shows such a beautiful side to the Japanese culture and the samurai culture as well, man.
Which one? Seth Rogen?
No, 47. Not Seth Rogen. 47 Ronin.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a bit more of a fantasy type movie, yeah. But yeah, for sure, like it's definitely amazing, man. It's definitely like, man, you guys have to come to Japan. And next year, I'm trying to bring Dad out to Japan. And we've already discussed it. Like, if they come back to Bangladesh, from Bangladesh, go to Japan, and it's the scenery and everything. It's beautiful, man. Like I said, it's such an amazing place. I wish I could live there, man. I might have to take a transfer to Japan, do it here at least before I come home. But no, that movie, like I say, like, how do I put it? Like, when you watch that movie, see how nice they are, and then you go to Japan for real, you're like, wow, they are really that nice. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like I said, I had a not bad experience, but I had an impression of Hong Kong before I went. Obviously, you shouldn't fucking stereotype by movies or whatnot, but I had an impression based on the movies. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be amazing. Then you go to Hong Kong and things are a little bit different, especially like I said, if you're a brown guy, a little bit different. But Japan was not like that. Japan was not like that, man. So nice as a culture. I think even in school they taught ethics and morals and respect before they taught any academic education. You know what I mean? The first couple of years is all about respect more than it is academic. Man, that Rogan podcast with that guy, Daryl Davis, man, he said it amazingly. He goes, ignorance, the cure to ignorance is education, right? And then ignorance leads to fear, fear leads to violence or whatnot, right? These kids in Japan are already taught that education. People are taught education before they get to the academics. You know what I'm trying to say? So they don't get to that ignorance. Like I said, I'm sure there is ignorance. Of course there is, everywhere you go. However, the majority, man, like in your face, they don't show that shit, man. It's like they're being educated first before they can get their mind poisoned with any ignorance and bullshit. You know, it's beautiful, man. Like I said, I love it. Like I said, I've heard many negative things, but I guarantee you, in your face, and that's what counts, to be honest, sometimes. Because if you're going as a tourist, that's all you want to experience. In your face, it's a beautiful culture, man. I love it.
No, one day, man. Inshallah. Let's see how it goes. Let's let the world heal, get back to normal again, and then we'll start planning. We still got New York Comic Con and San Diego, one of them to go to, us three. So
San Diego for sure.
Yeah, we got some plans. But let's hope everybody's safe. I hope you guys are staying the F home. As Samuel Jackson said, I love that little video. Stay home, be safe. Guys, I've got to run off again because I need to go out and grab some important stuff for the house. It's got busy around here. I don't know what it's like in Indonesia at the moment. Not Indonesia, what am I chatting about? Singapore. What's it like over there now, bro?
We're officially on lockdown now. We've had more spikes here. Singapore done it right. They done it in stages, right? But we're officially on lockdown now, in the sense that yes, you can go out for groceries, you go out for a run, but you're not supposed to meet anyone or anything. There's been a case where there's these workers. They live in this. They probably don't live in the best conditions, to be honest, right? Even Singapore is not great, and the majority of them are guaranteed to be Bengali. You know, them street workers and whatnot. The majority of them are Bengali anyway. But they live in these specific dorms, right? And obviously it's not the best condition. One person got it now. Almost everyone, or not almost everyone, but a lot of people in the dorms are getting it. So there was a spike of like 250 people of a case yesterday. Before that, it was 150. It's been growing a lot from that dorms. So it's unfortunate for those people who don't have the privilege of a luxury home like me and whatnot. Even in Singapore, like I said, they just stuffed in these dorms, and it only took one person to get it. And it's not like that person was going out or whatever, but it's their lifestyle. It's the way they're living. So anyway, that's why I'm fearful for a lot of the third world countries, because they just don't know. One, they could be just immune because this living condition, their body might be immune to shit. But two, it's a bit more scarier. Because they're not as hygienic and clean as many of these first world countries. But I mean, unfortunately, this is happening. It's growing in Singapore. But I'm hoping, there was all these prediction that there's going to be spikes. So I'm hoping now that everyone's on lockdown, things are just going to go the opposite way. It will take time, but we'll get there.
No. Yeah, man. Be safe, brother. Be safe. Keep us posted. Guys, plug-in time. Guys, remember, we are on SoundCloud. You can stream us on SoundCloud. This episode will be on SoundCloud. Therapy sessions will be on SoundCloud as much as the Brothers Geek Out podcast as well. Just type in the Brothers Geek Out podcast or Kibla Ahmed Art and you'll find it there. Make sure you follow all us on our journey on Instagram. Kibla Ahmed Art, Gilman187 and Ashraf. Spell it out, bro.
AS14ROF.
Yes, make sure you're following us on our journey. Guys, a massive thank you. We've had a little spike on the channel, which is absolutely amazing. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. I thank my brothers for always joining us on the podcast as well. G-Man in Singapore. I mean, we've been doing it coming up to just over 2 years now. Thank you. That's all I can say. I've got more stuff coming up. I'm doing the six fan arts for everybody. I'm working on the Last Samurai one. I'll show you guys some images later. I'm posting them up on the YouTube channel as well, so you guys will get to see it there. If not, if you want to see close-ups and process photos, they'll be on my Instagram as well. But yeah, massive thank you guys. You guys have been awesome. Ash is gonna bring a Last Samurai. What company made it?
You know what? Company. Yeah.
You're gonna do a proper review, bro, because people want that.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
need to do a proper review after.
That's
Yeah.
Nathan Elgren.
Yeah,
When you get the chance,
Oh,
do an awesome review on that because that's actually a really cool model, man. I absolutely love that.
yeah.
Make sure you do. Ash will have one later on, maybe this week or next week. We'll have a review on the channel. But yeah, guys, massive thank you as always. You guys are absolutely awesome. Be safe. Wash your hands. Stay the F home. Or what was that one that I recently shared? I didn't realize I had it on my WhatsApp status. Mum and Dad probably saw it. It says, "Stay home, you bastards."
Stay home, you bastard. Uncle from Man Like Mobile.
Yeah.
That program's funny as well. But yes, stay home, you bastards, and wear a mask. I think at first they were saying masks don't work and shit, but I think there's more science coming out saying masks work. So I mean, regardless whether you believe it works or not, just put a fucking mask on if you do go out for grocery shopping.
Oh damn! I don't have none.
Like
I'm gonna have to order some then.
No, you guys as well. Honestly, if you're going out, wear a mask. Mum's got some. I think I gave some to mum and dad. They got some. Oh shit, kids.
Yeah, those.
Yeah. Order some. Honestly, if you go out, even if you go into the shop, as soon as you come in contact with people, like you're going into a shop or whatever, then you pull it on. You can walk on streets without it. But if you're in a vicinity where people are going to be, do it. Make sure you do it. And get everyone else to do it. Just put the mask on, right? Regardless if you believe in it or not. Plus, it helps you from stop touching your face and shit. Wear a mask. Just do it.
Actually, you're right. You're really right. Cause yeah. All right. Cool, guys. Masks. Keep them on. We're gonna continue. We're gonna do another therapy sessions. I think we're gonna pick. Let's pick while we're quickly here. Let's pick another favorite film of us.
Favorite film. Have we done Dark Knight?
No, we haven't.
One of the best.
There we
comic
go,
book
guys.
movies
We
we've
got a
ever
new
had.
series starting. Therapy sessions on movies and TV programs we love. Guys, therapy sessions for the Dark Knight coming very soon. What day? What are we picking?
Sometime next week, let's do it, man. We
Alright.
got podcast. We're gonna do our podcast tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Weekly one. Sometime next week, man. Let's do it, man.
Boom. All right. Therapy sessions,
Ash
the
needs to
Dark
do-
Knight.
Ash needs to do a review for that product. I'm gonna do a toe to toe. I need to find a good fight scene and do another toe to toe. We'll get some shit out.
Cool.
Yeah,
Perfect. All right. Awesome. Guys, massive thank you. I'll catch you guys up soon. One love. Peace.
Hey,
Hold